Hi everyone watching at home. Welcome to the Jefferson County Board of Education Central Office. I'm Director of Communications John Huddleston. We are so excited for you to be joining us tonight at home as well as our in-person attendees. This is our Superintendent's Student Advisory Council. This is actually, I believe, the fifth meeting I think we've had this year. And I have to tell you a little bit about this group. We've met throughout the county. This is something we started about 3-4 years ago. And each year we meet with our secondary and middle school students. And then a couple years ago we got to thinking, that's great, but we also need to hear from our younger folks as well. So we also started the elementary ones, and they meet 4 times throughout the year. We go to a high school at various parts of the county, bring everybody in there. We have great conversations, great topics, and is really, I guess, for both of us, really one of the highlights of our year. It is called the Superintendent's Student Advisory Council. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute and bring in the superintendent, Dr. Walter Gonsolin. How are you tonight?
I'm well, thank you. And thank you for hosting this, because this is one of my favorite events to do as a superintendent.
Absolutely. Like I was talking kind of in the intro there, we started this, I believe, I was trying to think back 3 or 4 years ago. And since then, I know it's some of our favorite days. And it's an important day, too, because it gives our students a voice. I want you to talk a little bit about that and the importance of that.
You know, I've been in this business for 36 years. Students think that's old, but that's really not that old, okay? But been in this business for 36 years and worked with faculty, staff, different community groups, parent groups. But along the years, I've learned that one of the most important groups to work with are student groups. And because I feel that way is because, you know, you guys are boots on the ground. You know, as a superintendent, most of my job is to try to have some innovation, to develop certain programs, whether it's extracurricular programs, band, football, academic programs, and all of those things. And we do it for people that we don't really hear from all the time. We do it for you. And so having these student advisory groups, it allows me to say, to hear from your perspective as to how's it going, what's working. You know, it's one thing for me to sit behind a desk with other people to come up with, oh, we're going to do signature academies, or we're going to do AP courses, or the playgrounds, design all of these schools. That's good and fine, but I need to go to Abigail and say, Abigail, how is that working on your campus for you? What are we missing? Are there some other things we need to put in place? What's going so well that we need to make sure that we keep it happening? So that's why this is so important to me. And you know, you're right. A couple of years ago, we were only working with the secondaries. And then finally and it came from the students. They said, you need to do things earlier. You know, you should have had this conversation with me when I was in the 5th grade. And I was like, the 5th grade? They said, yeah. And a couple of them said, elementary, 3rd grade. And I wondered, you know, can a 3rd grader sit on this panel and really tell us some very important things? Parents, y'all be surprised. Audience, you'll be surprised. They can. They know it. They are experts on monkey bars and bathrooms, and they will tell you all about it. So that's why this is one of my most favorite activities, to hear their voices.
Absolutely. And we do want to welcome our parents who are in attendance tonight. Thank you to all of you for bringing your children here tonight. We certainly do appreciate that. And thanks to all our attendees tonight. For those of you watching at home, just to kind of give you a little bit of background on how these students are chosen. It's a selection process, and the criteria that we tell our high school and middle school teachers, our principals rather, is for to be maybe the student government president and vice president. Student leaders is the main criteria there. For our elementary students, what we tell our principals there is to pick somebody out, a student that stands out in their school, that has a bright future, is a leader in their school. So all these folks here tonight are not here by mistake. They are absolutely the leaders of their school. We're going to get started this evening with a couple of different topics, and then we're, of course, open it up for the floor for some questions this evening. First off, we want to talk about educational careers. And Doc, I know we kind of talked about this a little bit before the meeting started, but we kind of want to address it from both angles here, both our seniors and our secondary students, and then also our elementary kids. So for our seniors and secondary students, and Here's the thing where you guys get to participate. Please don't be shy. But what worked during your time in Jeff Go Ed? We've got, raise your hand first off if you're a senior and you're about to graduate. So we've got about 6 of you here tonight. That's great. Congratulations to all of you. But what worked during your time in Jeff Go Ed? And also, too, what areas can we improve on? And if you would, raise your hand, and Maya will bring the microphone to you. We've got a couple right down here.
That's one thing, this group is never shy. They will always talk.
And if you would, because the name tags are small, say your name and tell us what school you're from, too.
My name is Caleb Keebler, and I serve as class president for Pittston Valley High School. A thing that really worked for me is making sure that I knew everything that I could do and the stuff that I wanted to take advantage of that you are offering in Jefferson County schools. And I think that really makes the process go smoother once you have everything laid out and the stuff that you want to do, because it makes your track really straight line where you can see right where you need to go and the end goal that you'll have. A thing that I would say that needs work is just making sure that it gets to them earlier, that before school starts, before registration starts, that they get the opportunity to know what's there for them, so then, therefore, they're able to take advantage of those opportunities faster.
You're talking about the educational opportunities and the different things like dual enrollment, things like that. Absolutely.
My name is Layla Wright, and I'm SGA president at Fultondale High School. Something that worked for me was mainly getting connected with the counselors and being able to get connected with our principals, because through the materials that you were able to give them, they were fairly quick to give them to us and make sure that we did were able to have them. Like, I know my counselor, she has a Google Doc that she made that she helps us keep up with and things like that. And something for me that I believe that could be changed or could help us more is just get more, try to find more opportunities. I know at Fultondale, I really wanted to join JROTC, but we just don't have it. And I didn't know that there was more so maybe a signature academy that we could go to a different school for JROTC, but just mainly try to implement more opportunities or try to get the information of where we could get those opportunities from.
Yes, sir. Back here in the back.
My name's Andrew Reno, go by Parker Reno from Mortimer Jordan High School. I'm the vice president there. One thing I would say for me that worked really well was the AP classes and the dual enrollment. It's leading me to get a head start on college. I'm able to take classes that other peers, other freshmen going in will not be able to take. And so that's helped me progress, but it's also helped give me responsibility and learn what it's like to manage a time, manage a schedule. And then one thing I would say that we could improve on is all my math teachers would tell me that they love Delta math, and that's something that gets blocked. I don't know who can do that, but just that Delta math, giving those students more opportunities to learn in different ways and more practice problems for math and stuff like that.
When you say it's getting blocked, you're talking about through our technology system?
Yes, sir. Delta
Okay.
math is not able to be accessed even by the teachers on their accounts. So yes.
Anybody else from our secondary side say something? Right here.
Hi, my name is Grace Ann Landers. I'm the Vice President of our Student Council, alongside Piper, our President at Gardner High School. One thing, like Parker was saying, I've really enjoyed the access that we've had, starting all the way from sophomore year to dual enrollment and AP classes. I think it's really helped me, even for me. I'm not going to necessarily a solely academic focused college, I'm going to a school for ministry, but even there, because of our accreditation, we still are offered English and math classes. So even when I'm going to somewhere like that, my AP and my dual enrollment is still coming in handy and still providing me with more opportunities to get ahead of my other peers that I'm coming in with. And one thing that I would say that maybe we could do a little bit better is either equipping our teachers to teach this AP material in a timely manner, because I know for us in some of our classes we're still crunching at the last minute. I have exams on Tuesday and Thursday and all the things, and we're still crushing in every last second to get all of the necessary material taught. So maybe if we could just have more about some professional PDs for some of our teachers, and just help them, because I know they have it in their heart, they want to see us succeed, but maybe just start at the higher level and provide our teachers to get everything out in a timely manner. But we're really thankful for all the APs, the dual enrollments. I would just say maybe getting those materials out to our teachers and continue helping them learn so that they can teach us better. So yeah.
All right, well, over to our elementary students. What about you guys? What's working for you guys right now in Jeffco Ed in terms of your education? What's going well for you at this point? Now, y'all cannot be shy. Y'all are never shy during these meetings. Yeah, y'all get, the TV cameras come on, everybody gets quiet on me here, but what's working right now, I guess? Any volunteers? Right here.
Hi, my name is Skylar Cannon and I attend Minor Middle School, and what's working for me, like the senior said, is all the opportunities with dual enrollment and AP classes, like them being accessible for us while we're in middle school, so that really helped me out for signing and applying for classes in high school.
You got one here.
Hi, my name is Allison Harris, and the things that's working for me is like the advanced classes and like the different opportunities and like signing up for the signature academies.
Oh, very good, very good.
We've heard a lot already tonight about our educational opportunities in Jeffco Ed, and I think we've got a graphic, and to our guys in the control room, I want y'all to go ahead and throw that up on the screen here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about, these are all the different educational opportunities that our district offers for our students. Everything from the Academy of Craft to advanced placement classes, dual enrollment, gifted education, the Jefferson County Virtual Academy of Learning, also known as JC-VAL, magnet programs, JCIB, of course the new high school and middle school combined, the new campus up in Fultondale right now, and then also one that we're very excited about launching this coming fall, the UAB Jeffco Ed Teacher Academy, also signature academies, and of course if none of that works for you, we also have the traditional pathway that you can go. Doc, this is something that I know has been very close to your heart since you've been superintendent, and also too in the era that we live in right now, school choice. Yes. That we are trying to provide school choice in a public setting. I want you to talk a little bit about that.
So in Jefferson County schools, we have 58 schools, right? We have 14 high schools, 30 elementary schools, 11 middle schools. And you know, when this whole thing about choice, school choice came up, and being able to provide people with school choice, I looked at the number of schools that we have, and I said we could provide school choice as well. And we could provide school choice in a manner in which it becomes very attractive and beneficial for the students. And so we started off with a couple of different things, right, that we put in place, the signature academies. And the signature academies, you know, that's an opportunity where we got 4 different regions with all these different programs. And I strongly believe that a child should not be, a child doesn't have to only go to the school in which they live, the zip code in which they live. If there's something that's going on at another school that they enjoy, like the young lady said here, they would be interested in, that we should provide an opportunity for them at that school. JROTC, for example, that's been one that has been very popular. We have 3, we started with 1 zone, then we put it in another zone for 5 people, 5 high schools to attend. And just like she just mentioned about JROTC in that western zone, right, which is Gardendale, Fultondale, Corner, and Minor. The request, it was so, we had everyone was requesting it. So this upcoming year, I know you're going to miss it by 1 year, right? But we're going to extend JROTC to that zone. So that, therefore, any one of those children in any one of the schools I just mentioned, it's going to be at Corner High School. They can get on a bus, we'll take them there, and take them back to their home school after they finish. So we hear you, and we heard you, and we implemented those things. Just on yesterday, I attended the Crafts Academy skills, where some of your classmates might go and they might be involved in construction, welding, brick masonry, and different things. We had 37 students that signed a job contract before they graduated from high school. one young man from Mortimer, Jordan. I talked to him last night, and he's already working. You know, he works at night. He works for a company where they are renovating one of the Publix. Now, I know this might not mean anything to you right now, but to some of your seniors it would, right? That young man is still in high school for a couple of more weeks, and he's making $26 an hour. And everybody else, the other 36, they make a minimum of $17 an hour, straight out of high school, doing the things that they love, right? Then there are children who don't choose the military or the workforce, and they decide they want to go to college. Well, these educational opportunities are giving them an opportunity to get scholarship monies. You know, as a district, I know I'm shelving out a lot of numbers. You know, we usually get about $100 million as a district, right? I think over the last 5 years, the highest that we've gotten with scholarship monies, $108 million. Well, we pushed the envelope a little bit, and through the state, we got a match program, and Gardendale High School alone got $140 million this year, or $48 million. One school. We still have 14 other schools. Hueytown got $90 million, right? And as we're looking at this, y'all might be the first class, seniors, as a whole, that reaches $1 billion worth of scholarships, right?
Is this the class that told you they were going to get $1
No,
billion?
it's the 10th grade class.
I said they about
Right. Yeah, the rising 11th graders, they told us, they said, when we was telling them how much we had gotten to 100 million, that class said, we're going to be the first class to get $1 billion. They were just in 8th grade, and I said, $1 billion, okay, right? And well, they had a part of it, right? They'll probably get $1 billion, but they won't be the first class, right? This class. And, but I mean, can y'all imagine that whatever you desire to be, that we're creating a system of choice that allows you to do that? And I know for our elementary people, it seems so far away, right? But you could talk to the seniors, and they'll tell you, blink your eyes and it's gone, right? And you're there. So you have to provide. And so that's why, you know, in Jefferson County, we just continue to find ways in which to provide these opportunities for our children. We have one coming up this fall that we're starting with UAB. Is the UAB Teach program, where we have children at Centerpoint High School from all over the district. They'll be going, 100 of them will be going to Centerpoint High School. And when those children graduate, they're going to graduate with 24 hours of college credits already taken in education. We're going to hire them as paraprofessionals. I'm telling y'all right now, we're going to hire them, right? And then help them move up to get those other 2 years in college as well. That's happening right here in this school system. And a lot of it is happening because of your input. And the thing that I love the most is that, I'm speaking to the elementaries, you know, some of these people, you heard them say that they're getting a head start on their peers that they're going to school with. How much did you have to pay for dual enrollment? Not a dollar, not a penny, right? Yeah, the district found monies to pay for it. And, you know, it was all a thought 5 years ago. But now it's more than a thought, it's a reality. And so to see you guys taking advantage of it does my heart well. But that's what we're all about in school choice.
And UAB Teach, you mentioned the 24 college credits. I think that equates, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's about $10,000 that they save in tuition, get right out of high school.
Right out of $10,000 per child. So what we're doing now is we're telling them, 8th grade, Skylar, right? Skylar, in the 8th grade, you know, we're telling your peers that in the 8th grade, we're going to give you a $10,000 scholarship, that you can go through high school and get close to an associate's degree and a high school diploma at the same time, and a job, remember, right? So those are the things that we have for you guys. That's educational opportunities.
Absolutely. And I am curious to hear from some of our students. I know you mentioned you did some dual enrollment classes, right? How far ahead are you going into college now? Oh, sorry. I'm forgetting my own rules here. So.
For dual enrollment specifically, I've gotten 2 history credits and then an English credit, and then for the AP stuff, which that was free as well through the county and through just doing forms and stuff like that. I'll be able to get into an accounting class that most freshmen don't get in at the school that I'm going to. So I'll be close to about second semester freshman all the way up to a first year sophomore, first semester
You've
sophomore.
knocked out that whole first year already.
Yes, sir. That's money right there.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this, you know, that I don't have to do that traditional 4 years high school, then go 4 years of college. That a lot of this it can be taken care of in high school. Our biggest challenge is communication, so that everyone. That's why we're doing this segment too, so that all of the people who are coming, they will know about those different things, right? And they don't have to just stumble, like you said. Do it a little earlier, right? They don't have to stumble upon it and say, oh, I didn't know this, and I'm in the 11th grade. You know, we're trying to get it to our 3rd and 4th graders, and definitely our middle schoolers. Skylar, I think you came up to me after one session, and you know, these children begin to understand their power, right, of sitting on this council. And she told me, she said, you know, I really want to go in biomedical, but it's not offered in my zone. And I said, let me see what we could do about that. Now, what she didn't know, we was already, just like the JROTC, right, we was already working on it. And we do have it in that western zone. And so we're going to make sure you get in there if you still want it, okay? All right.
I think you hit on an important point there, is, and why, again, meetings like this are so important, is that moving things around, adjusting the academy zones, a lot of time that stems from conversations like this, whether it was students or with parents or even with faculty and staff about what they're hearing that their kids want in these schools.
Right, that's right. Yeah. And that's where it should come from, right? You know, we have our thumb on the pulse of what's going on in the community. We know the jobs that they're looking for. We know what areas they're in. And we also know the children's interests. So we expose them to that, and we matched it too. I remember when we first started the concept of this, everyone was wondering, how many students do you think we're going to get to participate in the signature academies? Because you were traveling to another school, right, and then having to travel back. And it was part-time, it was new. And I would have been happy with 500, right? Our attorney said 750. But when it all ended, and even now, we have over 2,000 children participating in it and growing. And so that is, and it transcends a whole bunch of things, right? Because, you know, I have children who at one time, you know, Oak Grove community was the only community they knew, right? But then all of a sudden you put JROTC at Pleasant Grove and they get a chance to become a part of it. That first year I have 30 children from Oak Grove that's going to Pleasant Grove. And they're doing it part-time. And then from those children, their voices started ringing out and saying, why do I have to just go part-time? Can I go here full-time? I'm okay with hanging out with the people that love JROTC too. And so for the first year, coming up this year, we heard their voices. We're allowing them to go full-time as well. We're giving them that particular choice to do that. Now, I don't want y'all to have no bright ideas over here, all right? And try to go, no, I'm joking. You can take advantage of whatever program that we have. And if it's in your zone, we'll allow you to go to it. If it's not, we'll look into figuring out a way to allow you to go to it and have one in your zone.
You know, some of our students, and I believe you mentioned earlier, one of the biggest challenges that we face with these types of programs is communicating it to all those. And that's something, obviously, with my job as Director of Communications, I'm very passionate about. But, and we're looking at doing different things here at the district level in terms of marketing, advertising, that type of stuff. But also, too, you can't discount that school level interaction as well. I feel like a lot of times that's where students really learn about these opportunities. I'm curious from you guys, how do y'all think we could do and improve on that at the school level? Do you hear your peers say, gosh, I wish I know about dual enrollment? I know you talked about, you had a grandmother who... An aunt, that's right. You want to tell that story real quick?
Which one? I got a lot of them.
The one about that said that called her...
Oh, that was a
yeah,
grandmother.
yeah.
So just last year, this last school year, in May, I had a grandmother called me, and her granddaughter was graduating from Lawson State and from Center Point High School, all in the same year, basically in the same month, within 2 weeks of each other. And she called me just to say thank you, but she had a question, and her question was, how does a child graduate from college before they graduate from high school? And I was a little puzzled at first because I didn't really understand what she was talking about, but I figured it out. The 2-year, the college course ceremony was 2 weeks before the high school ceremony, right? So yes, the child was literally going through that ceremony before they go through high school. And so she was, and I thought I had her, y'all, right? And in the end, after 45 minutes, she still said, but I still think you need a high school diploma before you get a college degree, right? And so I tried to explain it a little more, and finally she just said, well, all right, I'm gonna just go with what you said, but yeah, that high school diploma is important. And I said, yes, ma'am, it is. And then she asked me, she said, well, how much do I owe you? And I said, for what? And she said, well, y'all sent her to college, so I'm sure there was a tuition. And I said, no, ma'am, you don't owe us anything. It was free. All you owed us was for the child to attend and to succeed. And she did that. And the phone dropped. And when she picked the phone back up, I could tell she had been crying. And she just said, thank you. See, that's what we're all about. We're about creating a difference in families, doing things that even some of our parents and grandparents would look at it and say, what, are you telling me that my child just got a high school diploma and an associate's degree and I didn't have to pay anything? Yeah, that's what we're telling you. Are you telling me that my child is going to graduate high school with a job, and we had this 2 years ago, making $72,000 a year as an 18-year-old? Yeah, that's what we're telling you. Those are the opportunities that are here for our children. And we want as many of y'all, we want all of y'all to take advantage of it, right? I can tell you that what works the best, you on your campuses, you on your campuses. You are talking, you know, right? Because that's a part of being a student leader. You got to have the information. And then you're taking that information and you're letting everybody else know what's happening. So thank y'all for y'all efforts, but we still got a lot of work to do because we still have children, believe it or not, that doesn't know. We still have children that don't know that dual enrollment is being offered and that it's free. So we still have a lot of work to do.
I could have this conversation all night. Great dialogue, but we're going to move on because we've still got a lot to do. And real quickly, we're going to take a quick break for our folks watching at home because when we come back is a very important part of our time together tonight. When we present our seniors with their cords for graduation as being part of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, they earn that to wear with their cap and gown. We'll do that. And then later on in the program tonight, we're going to have an open floor discussion. Anything that they want to ask the superintendent, they can do so, and he will, of course, respond and get answers for them as well. So all that when we come back right here. You are watching the Jeff Goed Superintendent's Student Advisory Council meeting.
I try to use the same style and application that I was taught, but I'm trying to make it more practical.
How much sugar will we get?
A table, 2 spoons.
Have the knowledge and they'll have the credentials, a step over a lot of people that's already in the industry.
Really are into like culinary baking. I feel like this is a good class for them because they get to explore that more. And
They really have a really competitive advantage coming out of this program.
In this program, we do focus on all areas of agriculture because I think it's important that they have a foundation.
It helps with the life skills and knowing what to do to, start along on those first steps in building or even creating that sort of project.
Just using all the machinery in the shop and seeing that project finally come together is truly just amazing.
Engineering is my main focus, so that's why I'm in this class.
If you have a very imaginable and just all-around creative mind, it will really help you be able to solidify that.
You don't have to come take this class because you want to be an engineer. Come take this class because you want to do electrical, because you want to do plumbing, because you want to do some kind of coding, because you want to do some kind of design.
They're starting to gain skills that they would be able to use in the movie, television, theme park, theater industry.
If you like making stuff, you want to be in here for sure. And if you like spooky stuff, you want to be in here because we pretty much get to sit around and make monsters.
There are only 3 in the entire world at the high school level. So for our students in Jefferson County, this is a very unique and very special opportunity they have.
And welcome back to the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. Our last meeting we do every year televised live right here on Jeff Go Ed TV. And we're certainly glad that you're joining us at home. Certainly glad all of our students who made the trip down here to Central Office tonight from all different corners of the county have come down here tonight to be a part of this. And we're having some great discussion. But right now, we do want to pause because this is a special part of our program that has kind of become a tradition that we do every year. I'm holding in my hand right here the graduation cords. I want you to tell folks a little bit about how this started and what this represents.
So a couple of years ago, I had, you remember, we do student voice, right? And I had students that wanted to be able to have something that showed that they displayed, that they participated in the Student Advisory Council. We got everything from blazers to t-shirts. They wanted to go all out, guys, right? And then someone said graduation cards. And I said, that's one thing that we can do because we want to honor the work of all of our seniors. And what a way to go out, but to serve on a committee with the superintendent that helps drive what's going on. And so that's the history of it. And I paid a lot of money for it, my personal money, right? Because I wanted to honor you guys.
So why don't we have you call everybody's name out one at a time. And also, let me just say, we try to do this at a time where most people can attend. We're never able to accomplish that goal, get 100% attendance. So for our seniors that might be watching at home who were a part of this, don't worry, I'm putting them in the mail tomorrow. You will get them in time for graduation. Right. So why don't you go down the list, and guys, when he calls your name, come up here, and I'll hand it to you, and then you shake the superintendent's hand.
All right, first on the list, Logan Jenkins, Fultondale High School. I've been knowing her since she was about in the 4th grade, y'all.
Yes. Right. Yes, when I was advocating for my school.
That's right. That's how she got on here. Piper Rogers. Congratulations, baby. Appreciate you, okay? Mariah Hardy, Shades Valley High School. And Piper was from Gardendale High School, I'm sorry. All right, congratulations. All right, appreciate you. Leona Ware from Hueytown High School. I've been knowing you a long time too. All right. All right. Caitlin Carter from Macadori High School. Congratulations, my friend. All right. Caleb Keebler from Pinson Valley High School. From the Valley. All right, brother. All right, thank you for everything, man. And this young lady stopped me at her academic achievement night and wanted to know what, if we were still having this and if she's getting her card. All right, Grace Ann Landers, Gardendale High School. Congratulations, baby. All right. Parker Reno, Mortimer Jordan High School. All right, Parker, brother. Layla Wright, Fultondale High School. Congratulations, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Amen. And last but not least, Aaliyah Pearson, Hueytown High School. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Y'all, let's give them all a big round of applause. Our 3rd through 8th grade, y'all watching, right? Because we want y'all to come back so we could do this for y'all too, okay?
Hey, did we get everybody? I want to make sure because we had some folks come in a little bit late, which is perfectly fine, but I just want to make sure we got everybody. Good deal.
Parker's picking up one for somebody.
We're going to get it for them, right? Yes, sir. Hey, we're going to take a quick. When we come back, then we're going to open the floor. This is the time that we usually have our most fun in the meetings is when we open the floor for questions, everything from about AP classes to cafeteria food to bathrooms. Yep, we'll go there. So stay tuned. When we come back, more of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council right here on Jeff GoEd TV.
I try to use the same style and application that I was taught, but I'm trying to make it more practical.
How much sugar will we get?
A tablespoon.
Have the knowledge and then have the credentials a step over a lot of people that's already in the industry.
Really are into like culinary baking. I feel like this is a good class for them because they get to explore that more. And
They really have a really competitive advantage coming out of this program.
In this program, we do focus on all areas of agriculture because I think it's important that they have a foundation.
It helps with the life skills and knowing what to do to start along on those first steps in building or even creating that sort of project.
Just using all the machinery in the shop and seeing that project finally come together is truly just amazing.
Engineering is my main focus, so that's why I'm in this class.
If you have a very imaginable and just all around creative mind, it will really help you be able to solidify that.
You don't have to come take this class because you want to be an engineer. Come take this class because you want to do electrical, because you want to do plumbing, because you want to do some kind of coding, because you want to do some kind of design.
They're starting to gain skills that they would be able to use in the movie, television, theme park, theater industry.
If you like making stuff, you want to be in here for sure. And if you like spooky stuff, you want to be in here because we pretty much get to sit around and make monsters.
There are only 3 in the entire world at the high school level. So for our students in Jefferson County, this is a very unique and very special opportunity they have.
And welcome back to the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, live tonight here on Jeff GoEd TV, our 5th and final meeting of the 2025-2026 school year. I can't believe we're about to get into 2026, 2027 next year.
Right?
That is crazy.
It passes quickly.
Right now, we want to hear from our students who have been so nice to come down here tonight and join us for this. We're going to open the floor for discussion. I know we've got a couple of questions already. We're going to start over here with this young man.
How's it going? I just had a quick question about for Jefferson County. I know our graduation ceremonies are kind of different than other counties in the area, and I just wanted to know, like, how did you guys come across with the courting system and not decided to have a valedictorian for each school?
You know, that always comes up about the valedictorian, right? So several years ago, as a district, we decided to stop those things before my time, right? And it was because it was getting to the point where the competition of it was taken away from the ceremony and the reason for it. And y'all couldn't imagine, but there are certain things in this district that are very controversial, like cheerleader tryouts, right? Good Lord, all right? But valedictorian and salutatory, that was another area, right? And you have children who really worked hard, 4.6, 4.7, 4. And somebody had to be left out, right? And we didn't feel at the time, and nor do we feel now, that that's what we wanted to be about, right? So we do recognize those high achievers, but we don't single people out because we always know there's somebody a tenth of a point behind, and feelings can be hurt. But not just because feelings are hurt, but we want to make sure that we recognize all of those children who are high achievers.
Right. Caleb, thank you for asking that question, because that's something that we get asked all the time. So thank you for getting that out there in the open.
The other one is who gets to speak at graduation. Man, that's political.
Let's go right here to Ms. Ware.
Oh, sorry. Okay. About what he just said, would you all ever be willing to change your stance on that? Just because I know that, like, all of us worked hard, but there's always somebody that worked harder. And I think that they deserve to have, you know, that title is valedictorian, even though I may have fell short or somebody else may have fell short. I feel like they deserve to have that title because they worked for it and they deserve to have that recognition. So is that something that y'all will be willing to change in the future? Because I guess in some sense I'm saying that you can't necessarily cater to everybody else's feelings and how they're going to feel about it. There's always going to be somebody in the room that's better than you, and that's okay sometimes.
Well, you know, everything is always on the table. You know, I'm not going to say we'll never look at it again because this occurred before my time. So we might come back around where we might consider it. Hopefully by then you will be graduated from college, and we'll make you the chairman of that committee. All right? So you're going to have to field all of those people who didn't win. You got to field their comments. All right? I know you got it. Right.
Let's hear from some of our younger students. Abigail, I think you had something you wanted to ask, right? Hold on one second. Let's get the mic to you here. Miss Maya is coming. She's doing a great job tonight as well. In Madison.
My name is Abigail Rosano from Clay Elementary, and I had a question if you guys can make sure that the boys' and girls' bathrooms are actually stocked with toilet paper and soap and tissues, towels, whatever we need.
Yeah, that's our goal, right? And I want to tell you can have a seat. I want to tell the audience because sometimes, well, y'all never get to be together, right? In the same room, and so the questions, the needs, the concerns are very different, right? And I can tell you, every time we're with the elementary group, the bathrooms, man, and the playground, those are the issues, right? And I think y'all may have come up with some solutions to have vending machines with all of that supplies in there, right? Well, I'm working on the vending machine thing, okay, because we can't charge for that. But we did hear you, and so we've met with every principal in the district at our principals' meetings to ensure that that's one of the priorities, that they are stocked and monitored daily I know y'all work on periods, but maybe hour by hour, where someone is checking off to see and show, you know, like you go to restaurants, 8 o'clock, you know, checked off, put your initials, and put what you've added into those things, because we do know that when you're serving a lot of children, Abigail, I think you got almost 500 children at your school, right? And so supplies can go quickly. Yeah, and so we want to make sure that that's always stocked. But we did hear you. And we're going to even work with our custodians at the beginning of the school year to come up with a plan to make sure they monitor those things as well, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. And for the audience as well, this group, they formed groups, a committee of students on the campus to go around and monitor cleanliness and safety. And so those were some of the areas, I think, that came up as they walked around. And the whole committee didn't go into the restrooms, but they were checking the restrooms and seeing, was it stocked? Was it clean? Is there any graffiti on the walls? And they came back and they reported. Some of the things that came out of that, Madison, you correct me if I'm wrong, right, was that they wanted to limit and eliminate all students from having permanent markers, right? The children came up with that. Said they can't have them at school because that's the ones, somebody was going to those bathrooms and writing on the walls with it. I'm still working on that rule, okay? All right, I'm still working on that. But very good how you guys work to make that happen, and we're going to do our part as well, okay? You're welcome.
Madison, do you have something you want to ask? Madison is from McAdory Elementary.
I have one question, because, like, for the lunchroom, they have, like, certain meals, like, every day, and, like, everybody, because, like, every day of the week, there's, like, pizza, and, like, everybody's getting sick of pizza. And my friend Abby, well, her name is Abigail, but we call her Abby, she's allergic to dairy, and, like, most of the meals at the lunchroom, there's, like, no meal for her to eat. And, like, I just feel really bad because multiple people, they get to have multiple meals that they can actually eat. But my friend Abby, she can only eat certain things since she's allergic to dairy.
Thank you, Madison. I appreciate that. This is an example of the kind of comments we get every time we meet. Wasn't that special? It wasn't just for her, but it was for her friend. And these are the type of students that we want serving on this campus, on this committee, because they take into everyone's consideration. You guys brought that up during the meetings, and we've turned that into our child nutrition program, which is over, that group is over the cafeterias. And they always strive to have a balanced meal each time and a healthy meal, but we'll look at some variety too, all right? Now it's not that we're gonna stop pizza because we got a whole bunch of people that like pizza, right? So we gotta figure out some other things. But I do wanna share this with you. In our district, we have 101 nurses. That's a small hospital, right? And we have over, I think it's 540 different types of allergies and illnesses that we have, and so they have to balance that every time, right? And it's a challenge. I always say that we operate a small hospital, but so we have to balance the allergies with the milk issues and different things of that magnitude. But we're going to try to do a better job with those things as well. Okay. We'll get that variety and still keep the pizza.
And Madison, you like pizza, though. It's just in moderation, right? A little bit? Okay. All right. Well, anybody else have a question? Right over here. Let's get a mic over here. Got two young ladies on this side, I believe.
Hi, my name is Logan Jenkins from Fultondale High School. This really isn't a question, it's more of like just a statement. I just want to say as a student in Jefferson County, I'm just so happy that we have the best superintendent in Alabama, in the world actually, because he does his big one, so let's get a round of applause.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate it.
Because I am one of the students that take advantage of dual enrollment. I have my peers at school that have a job because of the signature academies. So I feel like he gives opportunity for every student, not just students that are good at sports or that are good academically. People that don't have a way, they find a way. So I just very happy that I'm in a school district where our superintendent cares about what we think and our voices are heard.
Thank you. I told y'all I've been knowing Logan about 4th or 5th grade, right, Logan? Yeah, and it's such a joy to see all of them grow up and be some beautiful and handsome young women and men, young ladies and young men, okay? And so it's good. I remember, Ms. Piper, I remember you playing on the middle school volleyball team. And you still at it to high school, right? All right, good to see you.
It's not just Logan saying it, Doc. I mean, 2025 National Superintendent of the Year. The whole world agreed that you're that superintendent. That's right. Let's go right back there in the back.
My name is Mariah Hardy. I attend Shays Valley High School. JCIB and Shays Valley used to have buses together. Now that JCIB has departed, how can we bring buses back to Shays Valley for students who are part of signature academies and different clubs at Shays Valley High School? Thank you.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all experiencing a lack of buses? Is that what you're saying?
We don't have any buses that transfer kids from Clay, McCalla, and other areas of Jefferson County.
Okay.
Yes,
For
sir.
the signature academies?
The signature academies that we have are JRTC, Business and Finance, Theater, and that is all that I believe.
No, I meant the transportation you're saying.
We have transportation, like Clay comes to our school and
Right.
we have buses that go to Clay, but I'm talking about the students who live in different areas. Originally we were able to have buses to pick us up from McCalla and pick us up from Clay in Hueytown,
Oh.
but we no longer have that.
Oh yeah, they going to school out of zone. Can I get a list of those names?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just messing with you, all right? But I know what you're saying because y'all have the academies and different things. We'll take a look into that to ensure that we don't compromise that. Now we're going through a transition, right? Which some of those academies are going away. And so we're going to make some magnet schools or some things, but we're going to make sure that those children who are still participating from that overflow of the last program, that they're still able to come, okay? But
Yes.
thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anything else?
Hi, I'm Piper Rogers from Garndale High. First, I want to say thank you, like, this has been amazing, but also thank you for our new volleyball coach. It's Merritt Beeson. She plays professionally, and it's really, really great. Currently, she's, like, in some sort of playoffs, and they're doing amazing. But one problem we've seemed to have is our girls have like almost like somebody watching them while they're training in the off season and a little bit less of a coach. So we're not getting in everything that we need to get in or that they need to get in since I'm graduating for like our play dates in the summer. I was wondering kind of like if there's a way that we could get like a coach, like a full-time coach on the side with her having to be out.
Okay, so her principal asked her to ask that question, guys. You know, they get it in, whether it's coming from the teachers, the students, or the principals, right? But you know, that's another interesting question, is because at the school level, you guys deal with things that we don't even think about sometimes at the district level. So I'll get with your principal and see what we can do to make sure y'all have the right coach, right? So that y'all can be competitive, all right? Mortimer Joy, what you think about that? You think we should make sure that Gardendale? I knew you were going to say that. But we'll work on that, okay? All right.
Anybody else?
Oh. Sorry. Thanks so much. Go Rockets, first and foremost. Grace Ann again. I would say, I know we kind of started this conversation earlier on in a different meeting, but I know as like seniors and junior year, you feel the pressure like rising up of what you're going to do with the rest of your life. And a common phrase that's been in my house for like the last 2 years is, how do they expect a 17-year-old to know what they want to do with their life? And so with that, I would just say, and I think maybe it's gotten started at some other schools, but even at Gardendale and other schools that don't have this yet, do you think it's possible for us to start talking about earlier dual enrollments and APs? Like I know we were talking about at one of our other meetings I had brought up, yeah, we have STEM classes and all the things at the elementary level, but why aren't we talking to our elementary school kids about other things outside of that. And just starting some of the conversations about future careers earlier on. Yes, we want them to have a childhood, but if you start even like soft launching these ideas to them at a younger age, it's going to be less stressful when they get to junior or senior year to be like, okay, what am I interested in? What do I not like? Whereas if you start talking about nursing from an earlier age, you can be like, oh, well, I don't like this, or introducing them to like accounting and finance, and they're like, oh, well, I know I don't like to do these things, and maybe just help eliminate some of the pressure off of them when they get to our age, and just make it a little bit of a smoother transition.
Grace Ann, thank you. That's a very good question. And again, I think it's needed, right? Unfortunately, we didn't have it for you, right? But even in settings like this, these young people are here. So those are the conversations that we're having with them early on. But we're going to need help, right? And we're going to need help not only for the people that's sitting in this room. I know some of y'all going to be gone, right? But from you guys, and also from the parents. We're going to need help in all of us having these type of conversations and understanding that you're never too young to have the conversation. You know, for example, I told you all about the UAB scholarship for those 8th graders at $10,000, you know, $10,000 each, and they'll have, you know, almost an associate's degree when they're finishing. The biggest issue that we're having with that are some of our parents are saying, and some of our students, I don't want to think about graduating. I'm just in the 8th grade. It doesn't mean enough to me. I don't want to talk about college right now. I want to talk about making the 9th grade volleyball team, right? That's important too, I promise y'all, right? But we all need to have these type of conversations, students, faculty, staff, and parents together, so that we make it relevant. So like you said, you know, I don't have to worry about when I'm 15, 16, or 17 years old, someone asking me, what do you want to do at the next stage of your life? And you have all of this pressure. You know, we need to have those conversations together.
Parker Jekyll.
Parker Reyna, Northern Jordan High School. Go Blue Devils, 3 wins in a row. But I guess my thing is I enjoyed this so much, talking with other students, getting to hear their perspectives. Is there any future working ideas? Like I have like mixer parties, kind of something like that, to really connect with other students in the Jefferson County area rather than just playing them in sports and other things like that, whether it's on an E-Day or something, but just getting to talk to other people in different schools and different regions and different walks of life.
We've never had that on a yeah, that's a great idea. What did you call that? Mixer parties?
Yeah, just like a mixer party.
Okay.
That's what they call it in church.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So just
thank God it came from church, man. I didn't know where.
Amen.
I didn't know where it had come from. But I like that. I like that. See, y'all, that's where we get our ideas from, you guys, because over the years I've heard from the students who sit on this. I'm at Mortimer Jordan, but I met somebody from Minor. Man, he's pretty cool, right? Or I'm at Hueytown and I met someone from Oak Grove. Man, you know, we have 14, 15 high schools, and so you see those individual identities. But, you know, I think what the students are saying, look, but we all Jeff Co-Ed, right? And so how do we come together to share that same brand? So I like that, Park. I'm going to attribute that idea to you when we implement it, okay? On E-Days?
Yeah, I mean, E-Days or just something like that.
Yeah, because they're not going to come on E-Days. They want to stay at their house, right? All right, we'll work on that, Parker.
Hey, listen, I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. I think we could go on forever tonight, but I think we said we're going to try to keep it right at an hour tonight, so I do want to be respectful. In our closing minutes here, though, I think you did have a question, though, that you maybe wanted to ask the parents.
Yes. Yes. Parents, I'd like to hear from you about your child, grandchild, someone who you're being a guardian over. They've been participating in this program all year. This is our 5th meeting. And I'd like to hear from you, what are your thoughts about them participating on this panel? Yes. They're coming to you.
Crystal Reno. Parker Reno's my son. But I would say this, I think this is awesome for these students to have the opportunity, because hopefully when they are outside of their school age, that they will realize how important working with the community and working with community leaders is important for everybody. Having those conversations, whether it be with the city councils that you work with, or even in your workforce, having the opportunity to voice your opinion, share ideas where you don't feel like, oh, I'm a nobody, but having the opportunity to share those, I think that's awesome. It gives them a springboard for the future and their future plans.
Thank you so much. That's part of it, student advocacy, self-advocacy, community advocacy, that they do have a voice. And so, and that voice is very important. Great ideas from great people. So we appreciate that, and thank you so much. Got another one back in the back. So did y'all volunteer each other? Did y'all work on this during the break? Okay, all right.
Laura Hume, Abigail's grandma, and her mom couldn't be here tonight, so I'm in her place. I'm a teacher at JCIB, and Abigail's heading that way this next year, which is fantastic. But what I like about what happened here this year was that she was asked to go into this program for leadership, and up until this point, Abigail's a little on the shy side. And so this really gave her the platform to have a voice. So coming from 5th grade going into middle school, now we have a young lady that has a voice, and she is ready to step up and to make her academic and future education career better and help people around her, make their careers better too. So she has a voice now. Thank you.
Thank you. And do you know that we didn't know Abigail was shy?
Okay. Well, that's a good thing then. Thank you.
Abigail, she made sure that she spoke up. That's how I knew those bathrooms was going to come up, right?
Look, guys, before we close it down tonight, y'all real quick, give your parents. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Asha Sampson, and I'm Skylar Cannon's mom. And I just appreciate the opportunity. I thank God for the opportunities that have been provided for the students, being able to share their ideas, their thoughts about their school systems, seeing those ideas being put into action, them being able to not be shy to speak up, to be able to collaborate with leaders, to build on their public speaking skills. I think all of that plays a role in their school journey as well as what's to come. So I just appreciate the opportunity, and it was an honor having her a part of this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You guys, what I was going to say, before we go any further and before we wrap it up tonight, please give your parents a round of applause. Whether it's bringing you here tonight, or I know we've had several of our elementary parents have driven them to the schools all over the county this year. So thank y'all very much for allowing your students to be part of this. It really means a lot, and I think I speak for both of us that this has been an amazing group this year.
It's been an amazing group. I love these children. I love these students, right? Because some of them, they don't want to be called children. But parents, would y'all join me in giving these students a big round of applause? Thank you.
I think that's going to close us out tonight. I want to do it again next year? We'll do it again next year. We're going to have some alumni come back next year, so that's right. So, hey, look, thank you all very much for watching, for being here tonight, and thank you to all of you for watching at home this evening. It's been a pleasure being with you here tonight on the Jeff Goed Superintendent Student Advisory Council. We hope you have a great rest of your night.